Literally witnessed two things. We witnessed Caitlin Clark once again cementing herself as the demon of the WNBA. Flashes of 2024 and Iowa last night, while literally trying to pull the entire team along on her back because of an awful head coach named Stephane White.
There comes a turning point for every major sports franchise, a moment when frustration reaches its peak, loyal fans lose patience, and the organization is forced to confront the consequences of its own decisions. For the Indiana Fever, that moment did not arrive when the final buzzer ended their disappointing home defeat. Instead, it happened during the post-game press conference and on the sidelines, where many viewers believed they saw clear evidence of a toxic double standard affecting the team. Welcome back to WNBA Pro. Today, we take a closer look at the growing controversy surrounding the Indiana Fever organization. Fans are no longer simply upset. Some are calling for boycotts and demanding major leadership changes, from ownership connected to the Indiana Pacers to the coaching staff. Critics argue that head coach Stephane White has mishandled her treatment of Caitlin Clark, fueling frustration within the fan base. According to these critics, coaching mistakes are only part of the issue. They believe a broader pattern of disrespect and marginalization is being directed toward Caitlin Clark, whom supporters often describe as one of the most culturally influential players the league has seen.
Some reason. Now, essentially the same question about Kelsey Mitchell.
Sorry, I guess with Kelsey Mitchell and what she did today is something else.
I'm speechless, really. She was 0 for 7 in the first half and 4 points, and just put us on her back. Made big shot after big shot, big play after big play. She didn't settle. She stayed aggressive.
The discussion begins with a post-game press conference, which critics describe as the clearest example of the alleged issues behind the scenes. According to the commentary, Caitlin Clark had delivered an extraordinary fourth-quarter performance. She reportedly made 5 three-pointers in the final period and scored 17 points in 9 minutes, helping revive a struggling team and push the game into overtime. Supporters viewed it as a display of determination and elite talent. A reporter then asked head coach Stephane White to comment on Clark's resilience and standout performance. The expectation, according to critics, was that the coach would openly praise her star player. Instead, Stephane White emphasized the effort of the entire team, saying the group showed resilience and made important plays, while adding that greater consistency was needed overall. Critics interpreted this response as minimizing Caitlin Clark's individual contribution. They argued that despite Clark's dominant quarter, the praise was redirected toward the team as a whole rather than highlighting her specific impact. The commentary goes further, claiming that one of the season's most impressive individual stretches was generalized in a way that avoided giving Clark personal recognition. The situation reportedly intensified later in the same press conference, when a reporter asked Stephane White about the performance of Kelsey Mitchell.
Something else.
I'm speechless, really. She was 0 for 7 in the first half and 4 points, and just put us on her back. Made big shot after big shot, big play after big play. She didn't settle. She stayed aggressive, and she willed us.
Sorry, I guess.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The difference.
The commentary then shifts to a comparison between how head coach Stephane White responded to performances by Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark. According to the speaker, Kelsey Mitchell struggled early in the game, reportedly starting 0 for 7 from the field and scoring only 4 points in the first half. However, when asked about Mitchell afterward, critics claimed that Stephane White responded with strong praise. White reportedly said she was speechless, emphasizing that Mitchell recovered from a difficult start, made important plays, remained aggressive, and helped carry the team through key moments. The commentator argues that this response sharply contrasts with White's comments about Caitlin Clark. In their view, Clark's standout scoring performance was described in terms of overall team effort, while Mitchell received direct individual recognition and praise. Critics interpret this difference as evidence of favoritism or inconsistent treatment within the organization. They argue that such perceived bias can create tension inside a team and frustrate supporters. The commentary further claims that many fans and analysts have noticed these differences and are increasingly vocal in their criticism of leadership decisions. Finally, the argument moves beyond press conference remarks, suggesting that body language and sideline interactions may provide additional evidence of unequal treatment. The speaker emphasizes the idea that nonverbal behavior can sometimes reveal underlying attitudes more clearly than words.
Let's move on though, chat. CC takeover in full effect when the whole world was counting on her and she delivered. Look at this right here. Oh my gosh, she 22. Game time shot. And is Stephanie White celebrating? Is Stephanie White screaming, clapping her hands? No. And you're going to be like, Venom, don't worry. Stephanie White is locked in. All right, well, let's see when Kelsey Mitchell scores then. But anyways, there was nothing or nobody that could stop Caitlin Clark. So see, off ball with no...
Okay, what he's saying is Stephanie White act like nothing happened at all.
The commentary references analysis from content creators, including Venom Reacts, who reportedly compiled side-by-side footage of head coach Stephanie White's reactions during key moments in the game. The first example focuses on a high-pressure situation in which Caitlin Clark hit a major game-tying shot to force overtime. The speaker describes the play as an exceptional moment that energized both the crowd and online discussion. According to the commentary, attention then shifted to Stephanie White's reaction on the sideline. Critics argued that she appeared emotionally neutral and did not visibly celebrate after the shot. They interpret the lack of outward reaction as unusual given the significance of the moment. The speaker acknowledges a possible defense of White's behavior, that some coaches remain focused, composed, and concentrated on upcoming plays rather than showing emotion during games. However, the commentary suggests this explanation should be tested by comparing White's response in other situations, leading into a second clip meant to highlight a difference in reactions.
3. Now, Kelsey Mitchell.
Screens again as Kelsey dribble Mitchell with a nasty ankle breaker, I cannot lie, as Stephanie White applauds and screams in excitement. So Caitlin Clark hitting a game-tying shot to send it to overtime didn't warrant that response for Stephanie White. But Kelsey Mitchell, and the move was nice right here. Foster, oh my God. Look at Stephanie White. Oh my God, look at the emotion from this coach right here. Holy, she's like, yeah, Kelsey, she almost had...
The commentary argues that head coach Stephanie White shows favoritism toward Kelsey Mitchell while failing to properly recognize Caitlin Clark's performances. Critics point to differences in sideline reactions, press conference comments, and team decisions as evidence of bias. They also claim the Indiana Fever's coaching, defense, and marketing strategy are hurting the team, despite Clark's major impact. The speaker concludes that fans are demanding accountability and questioning whether leadership changes are needed within the organization.